Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CCISO Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the exam with focused explanations and practical context. Business continuity planning, or BCP, is a fundamental component of organizational resilience and executive risk management. Its core purpose is to ensure that essential business functions continue operating during and after a disruption, whether that disruption is caused by a cyber attack, natural disaster, power outage, or system failure. Business continuity planning does not only reduce downtime, it also minimizes financial loss, protects the organization's reputation, and supports compliance with regulatory and contractual obligations. The BCP outlines how the organization will maintain or quickly resume mission-critical processes. In doing so, it provides confidence to stakeholders, customers, partners, and regulators that the business is prepared to navigate adverse events with structure and control. A robust BCP supports recovery objectives defined by executive leadership and demonstrates due diligence, which is particularly important in industries with strict oversight or public accountability. The CISO plays a critical role in business continuity efforts. While the broader BCP may be led by enterprise risk or business operations teams, the CISO owns and leads the cybersecurity components. This includes planning for the continuation of security monitoring, incident response, access control, and other critical security functions during a disruption. This CISO must also collaborate with business units, IT, and executive leadership to ensure alignment between the BCP and the organization's risk management strategies. This coordination ensures that cybersecurity risks and dependencies are factored into business continuity decisions. The CISO is responsible for reporting on the BCP's status, identifying gaps in cyber resilience, and driving improvements through governance forums. When a continuity incident involves a cyber element, such as ransomware or infrastructure compromise, the CISO becomes one of the central figures in both response and recovery. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. A complete business continuity plan includes several core components. The foundation of the plan is the Business Impact Analysis, or BIA, which helps determine which processes are critical, what dependencies exist, and how long the organization can tolerate outages. The BCP also includes continuity and recovery strategies designed to preserve essential operations and meet recovery objectives. Clearly defined roles and responsibilities across departments ensure that everyone understands their part in execution. A well-designed communication plan is also essential, outlining how information will be shared internally and externally during a crisis. Finally, the plan must define testing and maintenance schedules to ensure its accuracy and effectiveness. These components work together to create a coherent, responsive, and testable plan that can be activated when needed. The business impact analysis is a cornerstone of BCP development. It begins by identifying critical processes, systems, applications, and interdependencies. Each function is analyzed to determine its recovery time objective, or RTO, which is the maximum allowable downtime, and recovery point objective, or RPO, which is the maximum acceptable data loss. The BIA estimates financial, operational, regulatory, and reputational impact associated with service disruption. Based on these assessments, processes are prioritized by criticality and recovery tolerance. This prioritization helps determine which systems need the fastest recovery, which functions can be deferred, and how resources should be allocated. The BI informs strategy development and supports executive decisions about investment in continuity solutions, such as redundant infrastructure, backup solutions, or alternate work sites. Developing continuity and recovery strategies means translating BIA findings into practical solutions. These may include identifying alternate suppliers, establishing hot or warm sites, or using third-party services for redundancy. Technology redundancy is essential, ensuring that data, systems, and infrastructure have backups, failover configurations, or mirrored environments. Personnel redundancy is also important. Critical roles must have trained backups who can step in during an emergency. Organizations should also plan for manual workarounds when automation fails, for instance, reverting to paper-based processes for short periods. Cyber resilience measures must be integrated into the BCP, including offline backups, incident containment playbooks, and secure restoration processes. Continuity and recovery strategies must be scaled to available budget and resource constraints. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. Planning must reflect the unique risk profile and operational needs of the business. A well-documented BCP ensures clarity and accountability. Each department should maintain its own continuity plans aligned to enterprise-wide standards. These documents must be current, easy to access during a crisis, and protected in secure, off-site or cloud-based locations. Each component of the BCP must have an assigned owner responsible for maintaining its accuracy and readiness. Documentation should be linked to relevant policies, third-party contracts, and service-level agreements. For example, if a business function relies on a specific vendor, the BCP should document how that relationship is maintained during disruption. All documents should be version-controlled and auditable to support compliance with internal governance and external regulation. Without centralized documentation and assigned ownership, recovery efforts risk becoming disorganized and ineffective. Crisis communication is another essential part of BCP execution. Defined communication roles ensure that information flows appropriately during disruption. A crisis management team should include representatives from operations, legal, security, communications, and HR. Escalation paths must be defined clearly to trigger leadership involvement. Contact trees, phone lists, and alternate communication channels such as secure messaging platforms must be tested and maintained. Pre-scripted messages reviewed by legal and PR teams allow for faster, coordinated response during public incidents. These messages cover notifications to employees, customers, partners, and regulators. Crisis communication exercises help verify that the plan can be executed smoothly. The CISO should ensure that technical teams have clear reporting pathways and that the security narrative remains consistent across departments. Testing and training are vital for validating and refining business continuity plans. Tabletop exercises simulate crisis scenarios and walk stakeholders through decision-making processes. Full-scale simulations involve activating recovery procedures and testing system failover, communication, and coordination. All critical business functions should participate in continuity drills, not just IT or security. Drills must test both technical recovery and business process continuity. Staff should be trained on roles, responsibilities, and where to find the BCP during emergencies. Testing results must be analyzed to identify weaknesses or breakdowns in execution. These lessons feed back into plan updates and help increase overall organizational resilience. Testing also promotes awareness and reinforces a culture of preparedness. Governance ensures the BCP remains an active, evolving part of the security program. The BCP should be reviewed and updated at least annually or after major organizational or technological changes. Monitoring changes in regulation, industry standards, and best practices helps ensure that the plan remains compliant and effective. Governance structures should include regular reporting to risk committees or executive oversight boards. Findings from testing, audit, and real-world incidents should be reviewed and used to inform updates. The BCP must also integrate with broader enterprise risk management, disaster recovery, and change management processes. Metrics such as recovery time performance, test participation rates, and plan coverage can help measure readiness and track improvement over time. The CISO must lead these governance efforts to ensure that continuity planning remains aligned with enterprise resilience goals. On the CCO exam, business continuity planning is covered in both conceptual and scenario-based questions. Candidates must understand terminology such as BCP, BIA, RTO, and RPO. Scenario questions may require prioritization decisions, crisis communication planning, or evaluating recovery strategies. The exam tests the CISO's ability to align continuity efforts with enterprise risk, compliance mandates, and governance frameworks. It also assesses understanding of the CISO's role in coordinating cross-functional teams, overseeing testing, and reporting readiness to executives. Questions may connect business continuity to disaster recovery, incident response, and third-party dependencies. Mastery of this topic confirms that the candidate can ensure organizational resilience through structured, repeatable, and strategically integrated business continuity planning. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cyber CISO Prepcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com.